Hello, my friends, or pleasure to meet you. I'm Jiyoung. Today, we're going to practice a great hip opener and leg and lower back stretch, pigeon pose. You can practice only with your yoga mat or use a yoga block if you like. Just to be safe, please warm up with simpler hip and spine stretching poses. Butterfly, extended child, cat-cow flow, crescent lunge, and happy baby can be good warm-up poses. There are several ways I personally like to go into pigeon seat. First, starting from down dog. It's nice to begin with that much space in front where you'll be sending your leg to. Also, you have an option to stretch your hip creases through three-legged down dog. Second, straight from table. If you've built up enough mobility and flexibility in your hips over time, you won't find this way too difficult. Just slide one leg forward, bending in the knee and opening through your hips. The third way I frequently choose is going into lizard pose first to add one last big hip stretching pose before pigeon. Lizard lunge. After a nice hips and leg stretch, breathing deeply, heel toe your front foot to the opposite side, lowering the knee and the pelvis. Now, let's learn more about pigeon pose itself. Let's try beginning from downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up high. Exhale, bend your left knee, bring your knee to your chest, shift your weight forward. Send your left foot to your right, behind your right arm, rotating your left leg at your left hip. Lower your hips. Adjust the hip stretch, moving your right foot back and forth on your toes, and adjust the distance between your left foot and your hips. As you have your front foot farther away from your hips, the stretch intensifies. Make sure your shoulders and hips are squared. After you find your sweet spot, put the top of your right foot down to the ground. You can stay here in King Pigeon or be on your forearms or come all the way down to the ground, reaching forward through your hands. Breathe deeply. When you're ready to come out of the pose, slowly rise up through your core, walking your hands back. Go back into downward facing dog and practice on the other side. I'll turn around to show you the modifications using a yoga block. Downward facing dog. Three-legged down dog with your right leg up this time, stretching your right hip creases and psoas. Exhale, knee to chest. Send your right foot to your left. Land your right leg and hips on the ground. Press down with the top of your left foot when you're ready. If you happen to have some gap between your hips and the ground, and that's making it difficult for you to keep your shoulders and hips squared, put a block under your right hip and stabilize your pigeon. Remember, your block has 3 different heights and you can use 2 or more blocks at the same time. If you're able to bring your hips down on the ground, and what you'd like to do is sending your shin away from your hips, do the same thing. Be on your yoga block. By slightly elevating your hip crease, instantly you have decreased the tension and increased the space to move your front leg. After staying here for a couple of deep breaths, you can see if you can remove the block and lower your hips, keeping your front shin away. If that can happen today, you know what to do. Keep practicing. Thank you for your time. If this tutorial was helpful for you, please hit that like button and subscribe. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.